about if he's available or not. So I don't, if he's available or has a chance of being available, he comes on the trip. If not, he doesn't have a chance of being available, he won't come. I don't have the answer to that, though. I haven't talked to anybody since his workout.
Are his symptoms completely gone at this point?
I think that's, again, the question of after the workout, how he feels. I mean, he was able to progress to that next step, which is a good thing. But again, as this protocol goes, from what I understand, is you evaluate him after each of those, advancements.
Any changes to the starting lineup?
Yeah, we'll start Isaiah, Avery, Smart, Olynyk, and Amir.
Is this the decision behind making that particular tweak?
Well, I thought we started pretty well in Cleveland, but we haven't started well the last 2 games. I thought, I think Tyler has actually done some really good things. I think he'll be able to play off the bench well. I think that Jalen obviously has done some good things. He'll be able to play off the bench well. But I know that, with Marcus and Kelly, I think that from my evaluation of the other night, I thought they were probably our 2 best defenders in the game the other night. And so, I'd like to start off with that mindset right out of the gate.
Coach, about mindset, are you able to keep the big picture?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have to be able to, to take a step back and say, there's a lot of games to be played. We haven't played very well the last couple. We're far from a finished product, and we're far from a full team. But at the same time, these games come at you a million miles an hour, and you only get one chance to play each of them. So you've got to put your best foot forward, and we need to play better. May not, ever guarantee the result you want, but we need to play better basketball than we've played the last 2 nights.
Right. Is Al's concussion worse than kind of initially thought? I mean, it's been like 11 days now since he sustained it, or is it just pretty common?
From what I understand, Gary, and I don't want to even act like I'm a doctor. From what I understand, each concussion is unique, right? It was diagnosed as a mild concussion, but as long as there's symptoms that reoccur, then that continues the protocol, and so that's good. I'm thankful I'm coaching in an era when that's the case, right? So the most important thing is that his health is prioritized, and mild or not, a concussion's a concussion.
Brett, you do look like a doctor.
I do look like that. Well, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to get in anywhere that would have had a medical school.
Obviously, you said you're going with Kelly tonight, so I'm happy with his progress. But how has it been trying to determine how to use him? He was there for 3 weeks of practice, but we didn't do anything 5 months before.
Well, I'm not, I'm not worried as much about, how to use somebody or not. I think, I probably have a better understanding of Kelly than anyone else on our team because he's been here the whole time, him and Avery. So, I know, there's always going to be some transitioning back, but, let's get that part of the process moving, let's transition him back then. And then, we'll have to do the same thing with Al when he comes back. We'll have to do the same thing with Jay when he comes back. And that's why, like I mentioned earlier, we have to be able to take a step back and say, okay, bottom line is we need to play better. But we're far from a finished product, and we'll get better.
Coach, what did you hear over the last couple of days as far as how Kelly felt after his first game of full contact playing 30+ minutes?
Thumbs up. I think he played 26 minutes.
Brad, do you know, has Al had any concussions before, previously? Or?
You'd have to ask him that.
Coach, the other day you were mad about not being physical on the ball, but not just your team.
Against Denver.
Yeah, not just your team league-wide. The more times you see guys getting up and being physical on the ball, a lot of fouls being called more this year than last year. Do you feel like like Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart aren't allowed to be the defenders they
I think
are?
you can be solid and not foul. And, we have a number of things that we have to do better. There's no question about that. But, I think you can direct the ball and be solid and not foul.